Welcome back to Phone Repairs. This Qin F21 had a melted charging port and a broken battery connector. Let's fix it. First, I prep the new port by tinning each pin, and I make sure there's little spikes of solder that come out so that it grabs onto the pads. Now I get the board out of the phone and get ready to swap the port. With the board secured, I add some flux, and I'm adding low melt solder to help the joints melt a lot more easily. The coin acts as a heatsink to help absorb any excess heat to protect all the small components nearby. Clean it off with some isopropyl alcohol, get some new flux on there, and now you'll see me start removing the port. I'm going to slow this down for the actual removal. You can see the solder melting, and then out the port pops. I'm doing a method here called a hot swap. I'm keeping it heated and putting the new port directly in. And then I'll go over and resolder the pins to make sure that they're secured properly. You'll see that in a moment. Now I add some flux and make sure that each joint is very, very strong on every pin. Now you remember that broken battery connector? It's very, very small. You can see the tip of my tweezers there, just for comparison. So let's go ahead and get that soldered in. There's a tiny little pins there, and it's a very, very delicate piece that can break very easily. Those pins have to be soldered back down to the connector, and there can't be any excess solder here, otherwise it won't fit into the jtag connector on the board. As you see me removing some solder with some wick there, and I just make sure that it's solid, and you can see that it's fixed, which is nice. And now we get it all reassembled back into the housing, get all the components back in, reconnect the battery, and you'll see it charges. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and follow. There you go.